Okay, so we're literally going to continue having a look at the mediums contours based area. We started in a very detailed area where there is a lot of light and dark contrast. So we're doing a lot of weaving around that particular area. So what we're just going to do is just look at one of the more denser areas. So we're just going to do a continuation now. Just from around here, we're going to start this point here. And we're literally just going to continue drawing. And again, I'm just going to come around like so. Going to continue drawing. Just going to go up. Let's continue weaving. Put our opacity to 0. Okay, and literally just go up and round. And just continue just blocking like we say. Okay, so right here we're heading up to the top of this actual shape where we got a lot of, it's almost a border between the medium contours and some of the lighter contours that we will construct later on in the process. Go weave up and round. Just going to weave just inside there like so. Now we're going to come round up more to the top. Now we're saying being disciplined. Let's have a zoom in. Sometimes where the areas are a bit more detailed. And just go around. I'm just going to cut off that section there just to show you how we'll administer these particular difficult but interesting contour grooves. I would say this will make for much better consistency within the textural feel of the lime. So we can see where, just continue to zoom out. Now we can see this area it starts to get a bit lighter. So we're going to the top of where, the top of our actual medium skin contours now. Okay. I'll just continue to zoom out just to make sure we don't go into it too much. So we'll just cut around about to this area here now. Just zoom in to get that detail again. Okay, there's a light section there, but we're going to cover those a little bit later in the course. Okay, and again, I'm just going to come back down and round, being disciplined at this point. Actually going to go around the outside. Let's continue with that. Okay. And this is just how we will go on to block certain areas in. Making sure that we get nice curves, grooves as we go along to show evidence of those contours. Okay. So now, and again, we're building up more detail. Okay, and we can see very easily that this area is not becoming a lot more dense due to the shadow. So we're looking for the outer peripherals of the medium skin contours now. Just being disciplined to select those. Okay, as we go on. Now basically is one of the main reasons why we continue, just to have a look at them. Okay. Well, ultimately what I'm going to do now is just select this area. I'm not going to go right down to the edge. I'm literally going to just cut back because I know this area is very dense, and just go round to the outside, and we'll exhibit how we'll sort of tackle blocking in instead of just weaving through every single partition, which will be ultimately a little too tedious and may sort of starve the creativity a little bit. If you do a process such as this the long way round, especially the first time, we could lose certain types of motivation. We want to keep it as fun as possible, even though we are enjoying the actual challenge of implementing all of the detail. Okay, so again, just nice weaving. Everybody's got their own style of implementing shapes, but we really want to get that textural evidence. Okay, so I'm just going to include this shape here, just for form. Okay, I'm just going to join that on to the adjacent shape like so. And we'll just weave on and get this shape in like we say, and then we'll come back down, get that detail in there like so. Okay, so we've made sure we've got our circle. Let's just zoom in a little bit, make sure we got our circle. And we just want to move that anchor point slightly to the right. So we grab the direct selection tool and just pull it over to the right like so. Okay, so we've got our shape. You can see it consists of many parts of light and dark. Now, some areas we may be able to get away with and make a later application. So we just put our opacity up to 100 for a second. Well, okay, and we'll just click away. We can see we've got that outer exterior contours, less detailed than what it was. Okay, so what we're going to do in certain areas such as this where we block them in, just turn that on, where we put the opacity back down so we can see the outer shape. So opacity to 0. Is we're just going to use the pathfinder tool and just delete any unwanted shapes. So there's a few things we're just going to run through. So for example, here where it's really light, I'm just going to use a pathfinder tool, put the opacity to 0, just to make some subtraction shapes where we're going to just delete them from the mass shape there on the main foreground shape that we just drawn. Okay, so here for example, we'll do 1 or 2 more. And then, yes, we'll do another one here. Like so. So the eyedropper tool to put opacity back up, then go back to P for pen tool. Okay, so we'll just use these 2 shapes as an example. So we'll select the base shape and put the opacity back up to 100. Okay, back up to 100. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to lock the first shape we drew. I'm going to click Control Command A just to select all. Then we're going to go over to the Pathfinder palette, and we're going to click the second icon, minus front icon, like so. What that's done for us is it's deleted those shapes. Now if we wanted to continue deleting from this shape or any shape, once you've minused from it, we'll go Object and we'll literally click Ungroup, and what that'll do is allow us to subtract further shapes from there. So just remember to ungroup. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to do for the rest of the medium skin contour base layer. As how you apply the medium skin contours layer, what we shall do in between lessons is use a combination of drawing and weaving in the contours and also blocking in the larger format areas where we've got less contrast, and using the minus front pathfinder function to subtract any shapes that we need to. Not necessarily the little dots, because we're going to cover those later on in the process. Okay, and within the next clip, what we're going to do is add a nice cool gradient blend to the medium skin contour base and go on to add the dark skin contours.